Okay, everybody, my name's Ricky. I really appreciate you tuning in. This is one of my first YouTube videos. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, but I really wanted to start doing some videos, start kind of spreading my knowledge, hopefully helping people out, helping each other out, right? It's like a community. So first off, you know, every day is a learning experience. We're learning every day. I mean, especially in this business, vintage, antiques, you're just always learning. A quick backstory, my background is a clean out company. That's kind of the business I grew up in. My father owns a junk removal clean out company. In turn, he had an antique store. So I grew up in the store. This is how I know my pricing. This is how I know the value of a lot of items, even though that's been changing, right? The antique market, if you're familiar, has dropped drastically. Mid-century modern, it is very hot right now. So the reason I really want to do this video is to talk about how to find thrift items for very cheap or free in bulk. So clothing, antiques, thrift items for eBay, Amazon, whatever. So I'm just going to go straight through on this video. There's no editing, there's no nothing. I got my little board here. I just want to write down some things just so I remember. And this way I try to come across everything as much as I could. So I see people, I'm on Instagram, so I see people selling on these Posh and Etsy and this, that. And I have to be honest, I'm not really so active in selling clothing. What I do is, me personally, I own a estate sale company. So it's an interesting thing because I kind of see both sides. So during the week, I run around doing buying out estates. A lot of times the clients don't want people, the public, running through the house. So I actually come in and I do a complete house buyout. And in turn, I deal with many dealers. So I'll have an antique guy, I'll have a record guy, a tool guy, a rug guy, whatever, right? So I deal with the dealers, and then I'll do a lot of eBay also. So I'm actually in my store right now. I have a little store. It's not even open to the public. It's pretty much like a storage unit. I'll show you around at the end of the video. It's a really small space, but it works out great. I have a guy that comes in and lists like once a week, depending on the volume. Sometimes I have a lot of estate sales, so I get super busy with that. So I'm all over the place. If you follow my videos, you'll see the whole journey. I'm really going to start documenting the journey. So please subscribe, like. I'm really new to this, so I definitely appreciate it, and I'm very thankful. You know, gratitude has taken me a long way. You know, I pretty much started from nothing. Even though my family business was very successful, I kind of wanted to go my own route, which I did. So in turn, I created this estate sale business, which is really successful, and the buying and selling. And I just want to pass on some of that knowledge with you, right? So I see on Instagram a lot of people going to bins, so clothing seems to be a hot thing. You know, again, being in the estate sale business, I see what people gravitate towards the most and the least. So probably the most undervalued items at a estate sale, probably a garage sale or wherever you go, flea market, is going to be clothing. It's probably tied between clothing and books. Now I also do Amazon FBA books. That's a whole nother thing I got into last year, just trying it out, and I actually love it. Just because it's so undervalued. You could buy a book for $25. I've sold them for $200-300. You know, so it's the return on investment is absolutely amazing. Same with clothing. So from my experience from growing up in a clean out company, we came across a ton of clothing. Now, and the difference is, now there's going to be two sides to this. So at an estate sale, clothing may be overlooked. There may be a ton left at the end of the sale, but it may have been gone through. So a picker like yourself, somebody maybe came through, took the best pieces and left everything else. So that gets a little iffy. Now, with a clean out company or a junk removal company, it's usually not picked over, so whatever's there is there, and you get first dibs on it. Now, a clean out company, junk removal company, they're doing such high volume, if they're a busy company, that they really have no time to deal with separating thrift items. Now, I'm not just talking about clothing. Clothing and books are very undervalued, but thrift items are, you know, antiques, this, that. First of all, a lot of people just don't know what an antique is, right? It looks old, this, that. They have no clue what the value is. So this is going to be getting to my point of how to generate high volume of unsorted, unpicked over items, okay? So I'll start like this. Not sure where you're from. God bless. I hope you're doing great in your business. To me, competition just doesn't matter. I want everybody to do well. There's a ton out there. I'm in the New Jersey area, but I hope you do well wherever you are. And this is what I'm going to recommend. You need to reach out to clean out companies, junk removal companies. Now, all you have to do is go on Google. It's going to bring up the closest companies. You need to put in a little work. Now, this is, you know, nothing's easy, nothing's free. So we're definitely going to have to do some work together here, okay? So I need you to reach out to like the top 10 clean out companies. So clean out. Sometimes they're called junk removal. You could Google clean out, junk removal, house, clean outs. Now, depending on what part of the country you are, you may get a ton, and you may get a few. Whatever it is, this is what we're going to do. We're going to call. Now, it's going to take a little work. You need to be relentless. There's no easy way out. Everybody realizes that, right? So you're going to have to call. I would suggest calling 5 to 10, because a few of them are going to say yes, they're going to say no. You just need to get a relationship. Just start getting a little relationship. Call them, ask them if it's okay to check in. Even if it's not okay to check in, you still check in. So you want to write down a list of clean out companies, junk removal companies, and then start calling, and all you do is simply ask. Say, I'm interested in clothing. I would like to purchase. You never want to say free. You'll probably end up getting a lot free, but you just want to start out with, I would like to purchase, I would like to buy, let's say clothing, bags of clothing, right? Because pretty much when a clean out company goes in, they're just putting it all in bags and getting it ready for donation. So you want to kind of stop in the middle of that process, and you want to get it. And especially if you're local, especially if you're willing to pick it up. You know, when we used to do clean out companies, we used to actually have people come to the house that we were cleaning out, which really helps the company so they don't have to haul it anywhere. So if you're willing to come to their location, this is why it's really important to get a good dialogue and start really being friendly with the owners of the companies, the employees. And you could even offer that. Say, I would like to purchase some clothing, some antiques, some thrift items, whatever you may think is valuable. You could text me a photo. Could you please text me a photo when you're at the home? I'll tell you what it's worth. I'll tell you how much I could pay for it. And again, it helps them get rid of it, especially if you're willing to come to the location, actually pick it up on the spot. So you need to be ready. So it's kind of helping each other, right? And you never know where you're going to get. A lot of these guys just don't know the value of things. So, hey, listen, you know, it's a business, right? So you may do really well. You may get some nice surprises. And then you could tell them whatever your interest is. You know, I just keep mentioning books, clothing, because it's such a return on investment. But antiques, costume jewelry, tools, whatever you get. A lot of times, maybe they already have people that they're dealing with. And all right, this guy's a tool guy, this guy's this is a costume, jewelry person, whatever it is. So, but you want to keep inquiring. And just like anything in business, a lot of people may brush you off. So you just want to keep inquiring. So just keep calling, keep texting. Texting is like a little politer, right? So you don't have to keep annoying them on the phone. And they'll probably answer quicker on a text. You could check in, how you guys doing this week? What kind of what kind of clean outs do you have going? Anything there that I may be interested in? I would love to buy something. I'm running low on inventory. Whatever you got, I'll take it. And you may pay up the first few times. Pay up, because in the long run, when they're doing a house and there's 20 bags of clothing, a couple bucks a bag, whatever it is to them, it's lunch money, right? And you're helping them get rid of it. So they don't have to bring it to the donation center or dispose of it, pay for it. These guys pay for disposal. So a lot of times they're not donating, they're just loading up the truck and dumping it if they're in a rush. So that's what I would recommend. Another thing, estate sale companies, okay? Now, and I'm telling you that because I own a estate sale company, right? You definitely want to reach out to them, because at the end of a sale, now I would inquire, let's say it's a two-day sale. I would inquire like day 2, day 3, whatever, depending on when the last day of the sale is. Because the first day of the sale, they're going to try to maximize money. When a homeowner brings me in, I'm there to maximize money. I'm not there to make you happy. I'm there to make the homeowner happy, pay my employees, pay myself. So the first day of the sale, it's going to be hard to get anything. Doesn't matter what you're after, what your niche is. I would definitely call second, third day, because at that point, they probably already made their money. They did well, if it's a good sale. And clothing, books, the leftovers, and I'm not only, again, I keep clothing, books, but I'm talking about anything. Now you may be able to, if you have a truck, if you have a storage unit, you may be able to come in, offer them a couple hundred for the whole house for the leftovers on day 2, day 3, and they may say okay. And even if not, again, it's all about starting a dialogue, introducing yourself, be kind, don't be pushy, offer to pay. One of the first things you should say is money, right? Even if it's not much, you're not trying to get anything free. But once you start building a relationship, you'll win in the long run for sure. Okay, so you got clean out companies, you got junk removal companies, you have estate sale companies, okay? Even garage sales. Even local garage sales, you could always stop at the last day. Everybody knows at the last day you're going to get a deal. But a lot of times, again, because clothing is so undervalued and not looked at, it's not just in my area. I'm in New Jersey. We're near Manhattan. I'm shocked because I get some amazing clothing and I know it's good. Again, I don't personally sell that much clothing, but I know I do have some good clothing and people don't show up. And I know that I would almost give it away just to move it out. So you really need to start reaching out to these companies. So clean out companies, junk removal companies, write down a list, get everybody's name. You always want to introduce yourself and get somebody's first name, the owner, the manager, whoever it is. This way either they'll keep you on file or you always have that contact info. So once a week you go through your list. You got to be persistent. You got to be relentless in anything. So, all right. So estate sale companies for sure. Again, they're probably the most eager because again, they probably made their money after the second, third day. So they just want to move things out. So if you say, I'll offer you $50 for every piece of clothing you have in the house, even if you redonate half of it, you have another half to sell, whatever it is. If you do flea markets, excellent opportunity. I'm talking down to kitchen items, kitchenware, books, furniture. If you deal with furniture, you might get some amazing stuff. If you're willing to buy in bulk, and you have to understand the estate sale company is usually pressured to get everything out because the homeowner is selling or moving on, whatever they're doing. So you definitely want to offer to clear out the whole space if you have the truck, the storage, if you're doing flea markets, whatever your operation is, So what else could I tell you? That's a lot of info. You have to understand, it's you know, it's kind of, you maybe already know about this strategy, but just a little effort. And you know, if you're not a type of person that likes to call people, just get on Instagram, get on Facebook. Every estate sale company, every junk removal clean out company, if they're running a good business, is on these platforms. So it's the easiest way. Friend them, direct message them, do whatever you have to do. Follow them, start liking their posts. What I would do is start liking their posts for a couple weeks. Don't ask anything. Keep liking their posts. They'll start noticing. Share their posts. Show up to their sales. You could introduce yourself. And then a week, 2, 3 later, by the way, I buy clothing. By the way, I buy, you know, tools. I deal with costume jewelry, whatever you have. So it's a nice subtle way, because a lot of times these people are getting approached by a lot of different, especially estate sale companies, because everybody's out for a deal, everybody's haggling, so you kind of want to be subtle, right? And you want to be kind. Always in life you want to be kind, doesn't matter what you do, right? So I hope this provided a lot of good content for you. I hope this helps. You know, another thing I'll be getting into in my videos is different streams of income. So like I said, I do books on Amazon FBA. Now, not to sound cocky, but I just started it last year and I did over 50K gross. That's gross. If you know Amazon, there's a lot of fees, but 50K gross, and literally half-ass effort. So books are a beautiful thing. I actually enjoy it. It's a great, for me, side hustle, because I'm running the estate sale business. I'm doing the eBay. I have storage units full of stuff. I'll be doing videos taking you around. Hopefully you'll follow my journey, and I would love to follow yours. Message me, you know, send me your info, send me your Instagram, your Facebook info. I want to follow everybody, and I want to learn from each other. You know, hopefully help each other out. It's a great, cute community. I deal with a lot of dealers in my area, and it's just a great group of guys and gals, and it's good people. So any questions, please ask. Again, I want to be here to help, so anything you need. I would definitely like to kind of write down a list of what I recommend. So like I said, 5 to 10 people, 5 to 10 clean out junk removal companies. Same here, 5 to 10 estate sale companies. If you live in a busy area, there's going to be a ton of them. Write your list. Always ask for the owner, ask for the first name. You want to remember people, you want to introduce yourself, be kind, be subtle, and watch the flow. Now imagine you could get, let's just say, 5 of these people, 5 busy companies on your side. You'll be having all the inventory you ever needed. You'll be listing full time. Maybe you're thinking about hiring somebody to list. Perfect opportunity. You be in charge. You get the merchandise, because getting the stuff is always the fun part, right? Listing sucks. Pictures suck. That's probably why I don't do clothing, because it's a little tedious, hard to do. So maybe you could get into a system there where you just start really pushing out merchandise. You start buying, have somebody list. You buy it, drop it off, forget it, and keep moving. You know, so that's a great system. But I hope this works for you. Okay. If you need any more help or anything, please let me know. Thanks for watching.